What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is another edition of the Flow Show, the Flow Effing Show for the Love of Wrestling. We are your hosts. I am Quincy Jones Go, here with the impeccable Young Baka, the voice of the streets, Paul Heyman to the hip hop scene, the American Dream, if you will, and of course we got our very special guest, always a hit song every time he comes here. That would be the one and only Mac Lowe. What's going on, y'all?
What up, Mac? What's poppin', man? I'm glad you could fill in for Brian. You know, he's struggling with COVID right now, so the fact that you're able to step up and step in means a lot, man. It means a lot.
Hey, man, tag me in whenever y'all want, man. I'm always here. I'm always available.
Listen, I think it should be us three, man. The Black announce table.
I was gonna say, is this how the conversation went?
Yeah.
In Nation of Domination, every time they told
This is it, man.
Every time they told Owen Hart to go get the coffees and he left the room, they're like, "Hey, man, we gotta do something about Owen, bro."
Yeah. So anyway.
Yeah. Hey, he's not one of us, right?
that was your friend, right?
Oh man. Now how y'all doing, man? I know it's been another week in wrestling. Baka, did you watch Full Gear?
I saw the highlights. I didn't watch the whole thing.
No, you're good for that. They actually
I saw the highlights.
It's probably their first good show. Like the last two shows were okay, like in terms of pay-per-view, but this is probably their better shows. It was all right. I mean, I wanted Eddie Kingston to win.
Yeah, everybody online. Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you.
No, I was gonna say I bet otherwise, but I personally wanted to see Eddie win just to see a difference. Just to see what would happen, you know. But obviously we didn't get that. I thought they still had a pretty good match. How'd you guys feel about Young Bucks and FTR?
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. You know, I am a huge. I know I come up here and I talk about AEW. I'm a huge Young Bucks fan, man. I have Young Bucks pajama bottoms. I probably have 10 Young Buck T-shirts. I'm a huge Young Buck fan. And from what I hear, everybody's saying that it's probably the greatest pay-per-view in the last 5 years. So I don't know if I'll go that far, but I really did enjoy it. But that's what the wrestling community is saying.
Really?
You know, I'm tapped in with those people.
I'll say the probably the best show in the last 5 months, but I wouldn't say 5 years.
I respect that.
5 years, dude. You're talking 2015. There's way too many.
I was gonna say that's a long time, man.
I agree. I'm not saying that's what I'm saying. I'm saying this is what the internet wrestling.
And you got to think like AEW only been here for one of those years, so
yeah. So
for them to be
I enjoyed it. I would have loved to see Kingston win too. You know what I'm saying? See Lavasa get one for the people. But there's no way that the third AEW heavyweight champion is going to be this guy. There's just absolutely no way.
You think it's going to be Kenny?
I think it has to be Kenny. They're not going to because you're looking for history. You're not going to look back and say, hey, the third ever AEW heavyweight champion was this guy. Before Kenny Omega, before Cody, before any of those people.
No, you're right.
Hangman, how does that happen?
It's not like it's the ECWWE championship where it's like
it goes back every two weeks, yeah.
It's like Chavo, Tommy Dreamer, finally, Ezekiel Jackson, and freaking who else was it? John Morrison and Bobby Lashley. All these like weird names, Mark Henry.
And Vince McMahon, don't forget my boy.
Oh yeah.
Got
the
do-rag Vinny, man. You welcome it over here anytime, man.
Do-rag Vinny Mac. You know what I mean?
Let's talk about Vinny Mac wilding out, man. He's I like it when dictators kind of get on the power trip and start acting crazy. They released Zelina Vega.
I was about to say, speaking of that, I mean, how do y'all? I mean, it's kind of convoluted what contributed to this. Like a lot of people were saying, because she put out that tweet about how she supports unionization, but then people were saying that came out after she got the news. Obviously, it's pretty obvious she's very well known and very active in the Twitch stuff, and obviously the third party stuff that Vince was talking. I mean, I feel like this was done as like to make an example out of people who were, because what I heard was she refused to let go of the Twitch thing, but then she also handed off the reins to her brother so it would stay open and it wouldn't be under her name, but then she opened an OnlyFans account.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
young Zelina had an OnlyFans account?
She had her OnlyFans under her like cosplay name. And it was pretty much it's a new method
for research for the pod.
I forgot what it was. It's like Molly something like you know what I mean, like Molly Muffin or so. It's something weird. Like it's like has the alliteration. So I was like, oh, I didn't know. I mean, you already got like two other names. Like you got your real name Tia Trinidad, then you got Zelina Vega. You could have just done what Doc did and call yourself Zelina Vega.
It's stupid. It is stupid if you're a WWE superstar to open up an OnlyFans, correct?
Well, what about if you're Chris Brown? Because that's what he just did.
Yeah, we'll talk about this. Chris Brown comes up almost every episode. Good for Chris Brown, and good for any woman that's making money off OnlyFans. But if you're a WWE superstar, why would you jeopardize your line of work? The main source of income.
But no one is saying what the. I mean, obviously there's.
I agree 100%. I agree 100%. In OnlyFans could be anything. In OnlyFans could be whatever you want.
There's the majority of what you go there for, which we know. Why? I mean, pretty much the whole intention behind it was made. But you can go on there and people could just watch you eat. You know what I mean? And
I agree. But when people think about OnlyFans, they think about women showing nudes, getting naked, and again, do whatever you want, make your money. God bless you. But if you're a WWE superstar, why would you put yourself in that position? Because she could say, hey, I'm only reading comic books out loud. But when people think of OnlyFans, they think of that.
Well, is it worth? I mean, I guess it's a little different because social media technology. I mean, you got to remember, we had like the bigger names like Sable, China, the Cat, like freaking Maria, like they all like actually did the whole Playboy spread thing too. So
I agree to who controlled that? Was WWE.
Yeah, I agree. It's a WWE.
That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah,
but
really
I
what
guess
it comes down to.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I mean, if they're the ones who are controlling the image of this character they created, yeah, I agree. No matter how much Vince, is fucking stroking to those pictures and shit, but like, yeah, it's just. I guess I was just curious. Not that I'm saying it should be the same standard because obviously things change. Even back then, they weren't treating the women's division even with a little ounce of respect. They obviously were centerfolds and all that shit. So,
dude, do you want to see?
I get it though. I mean, do you think that Aleister's on his way out? Then, I mean, I don't know if he just re-signed or how much longer he has on his contract, but I mean, that's his wife.
I heard that he wanted to go back to NXT, and they told him no.
I heard that that's what happened with FTR. That was like one of the last conversations they had with Hunter. Was they were trying hard to keep him in WWE, but they were like, hey, how about you guys go back to NXT? Which personally, I would have loved to see him tied up with some of the new tag teams, like like Undisputed Era and some of the other great teams that they had on the roster at the time. But yeah, it's like one of those things where they just didn't want to go back. They felt like it was like going back in time, and they enjoyed their time there. I think they could have tore it up with some new teams, help them out. But yeah, I mean, I get where they're coming from. I think it works for some people. It doesn't work for everybody. I don't know if Aleister necessarily needs to go back. I mean, like, what are you gonna do? Like, align him with like Killer Cross or something? Like, I mean, because he's already a heel, so I don't know what they're gonna do if they were to have him go back to NXT. To be honest,
I think they tried to remix Aleister too much. They didn't the way he was moving with the character that he had. They didn't let that breathe enough before they started tweaking it a whole lot.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Like I wasn't against. I mean, I get the whole. He got his eye, taken out. So that can kind of be a catalyst for a brand new character, a heel turn, if you will, which he's doing now. But yeah, like, it was weird. They always do this. They always take what worked for them and they either change it or they tweak it to the words. Because, when they started adding that, like, real, like, that creaking, that door.
That creaking would pop up.
Yeah, I was like, man.
What are they doing?
And it don't help when you zoom in on these supposed candles that are obviously not candles. Like, I mean, you can tell that they're just lights painted that way. And I'm like, bro, like, y'all gotta either get your, rehire a new smoke machine guy, or y'all need to tell Kevin Dunn to back up on the optics. So y'all need to just let it breathe, man. But yeah, I mean, he was doing okay for a while, but they just didn't know what else to do with him. Like, the whole pick a fight thing, I wasn't against. But then when you got nobody trying to pick a fight with him, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
So he's a little badass.
I tried to pick a fight with him. He didn't answer my DMs.
I think
don't come up here and say nobody was trying to pick a fight. I was ready.
Yo, who is this heavy-handed ass dude knocking on my DM? I don't know. He knows I don't rap.
Hey,
Zelina,
so
who is this cat? Who is this cat, Zelina?
Speaking of Zelina Vega, it seemed like she was trying to throw her weight around, and she didn't have that much weight to throw around. She said, hey, I support unionizations. Hey, I'm not going to let go of my Twitch account. And I'm going to create an OnlyFans. Now, if you're Roman Reigns, if you're Becky Lynch, if you're Ronda Rousey, maybe you get away with doing that stuff. But if you're Zelina Vega, I don't know.
So. I don't see Roman Reigns because of who he is being able to open. Because I can see.
No. I'm saying obviously it's different with men and women. But he, like, if Roman Reigns said, "Hey, I'm going to hold on to my Twitch account," they can't let Roman Reigns go.
I can see him getting a little bit less. flack or interference.
100%.
But then again, you think of a guy like AJ Styles, who
but also,
he just shut his down. You know what I mean?
But look at
he
complied.
He complied. Those dudes, you know what I'm saying? He's a company man. He's getting paid so much money.
And those dudes are probably making more than Zelina by
100%.
A lot.
You know
but see, some of them are making. Some of them I heard were making more off their Twitch than they were making off their.
That's what I'm saying. So
because like
Zelina, Twitch, she's probably making a lot more bread over there. That's not being handled by the company first. It's coming straight to her.
You don't know how much they really took out of it before it got to you.
Yeah,
because that's the thing too. It's like with her, she ain't had no merch. She's a heel,
and they're not pushing her like that. You know, she was just now getting a little bit of a push, getting a little bit of burn.
Yeah,
recently, you know, last.
Yeah, she had the match with Asuka. Yeah,
yeah. So before that, she was probably making a lot of bread on her other independent shit. And I think it's weird that a lot of the. I mean, I get why WWE moves the way they move, but I think it's the independent rapper in me that just doesn't like how much they try to control.
But you can't have it both ways. You can't be signed to Def Jam and then be on your independent client as well.
But
you can't be signed to the biggest wrestling company on the planet of all time and then say, hey, I'm also going to be doing my independent thing.
That's a 360 deal. But if I want to go do a show and get paid,
but 100%. But AJ Styles, Zelina Vega, Roman Reigns, they have a 360 deal, 1,000%. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But you can't sign up for it and then say, hey, this isn't working out for me. 100%. You need to know what you sign up for. Zelina Vega can't sign up for, hey, 5 years with WWE, you're going to be making X amount of dollars. You can't use, what I understand too, you can't use an image that they put so much promotion behind an image every single Monday night. And then for you to say, I'm taking this image and going to go make my own money. Wait a minute. We powered that. We did that. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I'm now being independent, but you can't be independent and major at the same time.
Well,
that's Macklemore.
No, you're right in that last part because we've seen what they do with the fake Razor and fake Diesel, although they'll use it, right? But
oh my God.
But at the same time, like I got to throw it back at them. You know, you said you can't be signed to Def Jam and be independent and do independent things, but yet they can't hire these people exclusively, but then still label them as independent contractors to avoid paying for healthcare. You know what I'm saying?
Rappers are independent contractors.
They're all independent contractors.
You think rappers are signed as employees to Def Jam or independent contractors?
But that's what I'm saying. But it's like it's weird that they want the exclusivity of you, but they're not willing to take care of you in that same regard. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's right either. But
the fact that you're putting your body on the line and you don't have health insurance, that's crazy. That's nuts.
And that's why I think a lot of people are kind of giving them crap. That's where the union stuff comes from because you're like, dude, you're not even taking care of them right. Like health-wise, so at the least you could allow them to make some money on the side to be able to do that if need be, you know.
Right.
I mean, then again, you know, Zelina and Aleister, they have I believe they have a clothing line they started together too. Mm-hmm. So they were getting some bread on the side a couple different ways, but
she had a YouTube channel and all that too.
Yeah. She was monetizing for sure, you know. And people were going to see her, which that's why I don't disrespect or knock the hustle of the OnlyFans because she knows that people are going to come see her there. Or
100%. Get the money, man.
It's just weird that they would fire her because of that. I mean, like maybe a suspension.
I think they wanted to make an example. They wanted to make an example of somebody, and they could afford to lose Zelina Vega. I'm not going to miss Zelina Vega, you know.
I mean,
I know, I'm not a demographic, but
there's the thing that made me kind of like jaw drop on that was like, there's not another female that can do what she does on the roster right now.
That could talk, right?
And could do that for. I mean, you saw what she was doing for Andrade and now it's like, okay, so what's Andrade gonna do? You know what I mean?
Be Mexican. That's all you gotta do. Be Mexican
and try to survive in WWE's America.
Listen, it's and that's why they did it. It's a big jaw dropping, shocking firing. Hey, if we do this to this woman who we've been giving a lot of TV time to, we'll do it to any motherfuckers because truthfully, WWE ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? They just had the most profitable year. We don't need Zelina Vega. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's when you think about it too, before this time, we haven't seen a lot of her or Aleister on TV actually. So it could have been some other stuff that's already been, just a little bit of turmoil already brewing, and maybe something else happened that was, the in their regard, in their position as a business, that was the sand that broke the camel's back. So they had to lead by example, which we've seen them do before. But damn, dude, like it's crazy. It's like, so because I like to play video games and have my fans follow me, to do so. I'm without a job in the middle of a pandemic. And I know it's much more than we told you what to do and you went against it, and I get that, but it seems such like a petty reason. Again, I think that the hammer was dropped because they needed to make an example.
It's an example. That's all.
But that's the thing. They wouldn't have let go AJ Styles if it was him. You know what I mean?
And they're not going to let go of Xavier Woods for doing his up, down, down.
I was just about to bring him up.
They can't afford to lose him.
Whatever. But also,
hey, if you want to throw your weight around, but make sure you know what you're doing.
What type of deal does he have, and why they can't?
Yeah, I think he's a litlittle bit grandfathered in because I feel like he was probably the first to jump on the gaming stuff. Because, Zack Ryder had the YouTube stuff before, but then he was doing a little bit more game-centric, like more game-focused type of stuff. And he was able to go to, like, all the conferences and, all the freaking, he gets to do these cross-promotional appearances.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's like he's getting approved for these, and that they don't understand nothing about, like, Dragon Con and all this shit. You know what I mean? The winner, like the Blizzard and all that shit. They don't understand that, but they know it's good, and he knows how to navigate. So I think maybe that it's an individual case where they've seen him represent to the best of his ability for not only him but for WWE in that regard. But it's different because like they just had Roman Reigns at the MTV European Music Awards, which I was like, why? Hey, he ain't in Europe.
Yeah, for real.
Like you know what I mean? It was just a weird thing.
Because you gain that demographic. That's what it's all about. You try to gain different demographics. You said Roman Reigns. You're a dude that lives in Scotland. You say, hey, who's this big, tough-looking guy? Oh, he's a wrestler. Let me check it out.
Who is this head of the table?
Who's this head champ, man?
That guy looks like he's the head of the table somewhere.
I mean, hey, can we get this guy over for Thanksgiving? It's coming up. I mean, hell, let's.
I need somebody to carve this turkey.
I need more information on this man. Yeah. But but it's funny because as we joke about it, that's how WWE really lays it out. Like, this is how it's gonna go. And we're gonna get more people within this demographic that watches the MTV product in Europe to cross over and watch our product on Fridays. But
it's all about demographics, man. All about demographics.
One thing I wanted to ask you guys about too is I don't know if you guys had a chance to watch Raw. I know sometimes we do like the condensed version and stuff like that. Which I wish they would just condense all the good stuff and, so we don't have to talk about it. But, Mustafa Ali and Ricochet had a really good match on Raw.
They did.
I haven't watched Mustafa Ali match in 6 months.
I mean, why? Is it because he shut you down?
I'm not because I have a billion things going on, and I can only afford to watch X amount of hours of wrestling a week, and I'm not going to waste that on.
The only thing that needs to be on your mind is Retribution, my friend. No, the one thing I did like that they did this week is they tied into why they wear these masks and what these names are about, because which it still doesn't completely make sense, but they basically were saying that Mustafa himself gave them the names and the mask so that they can feel how it is to be judged on their appearance, to be judged by their names. And I'm like, I don't think anyone really judged you in particular, but in terms of storytelling, I get it.
He's been judged. Maybe not WWE, but in his life, 100%. That the man that he looks like.
I guess
with a name like that, he's been judged 100%.
Yeah,
like Dave Chappelle said, he can't take that mask off.
Yeah, no, 100%. And you know what? If you were to say something like that, I kind of would bring it home. But at least we get a little bit of a backstory as to why, because that's what we were asking. I'm like, okay, we got the Predator mask, the freaking True Value Jason Voorhees mask, we got the Bane mask, but we didn't know what the hell this was about.
Right.
But at least we get a little bit of explanation of that, so that was kind of cool. I did hear, by the way, remember Mercedes Martinez was supposed to be part of the group, like she was originally.
Yeah, but she asked to be taken out of it, right?
Yeah, which I'm like,
wow, I didn't know that.
Good move.
Good call, huh?
Well, yeah, I think that first night she was like, fuck this.
Yeah.
This is not why I waited 20 years to get signed to WWE, to get fast-tracked to this shit. Like, and to be honest, she only had, like a few matches and one feud in NXT against Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, it was weird because the week that Retribution stuff dropped, she was still involved in she was like doing run-ins on like the Rhea situation. And,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like she was kind of playing both sides at that point. And I thought when she said she didn't want to be a part of Retribution no more, that she would just go back to NXT and pick up where she left off. But we haven't seen her. You know what I mean? About a month and a half or so.
I was even thinking like maybe she's the Ghostface attacker. You know what I mean?
I thought it could have been her, but I could tell by the body language that it was a girl because she's just kind of
I felt like they mentioned her for like a week and a half before, and then all of a sudden they just stopped mentioning her. And she showed up during like Candice's match one day.
Yeah,
and then you just don't see. They don't even mention her again. I'm like, okay, I think it might be her. I thought, like my brother was saying that maybe there was two people. Like there was a guy during Johnny's match, and then there was a female for because I was like, I could see it being Indy Hartwell. But then he was like, maybe it's Austin Theory. And I was like, because he quote-unquote quit, and we haven't seen him since. So I was like, oh, that kind of makes sense. He was the only person Gargano was the only person that really gave him any compliments before he had a match with him. So I was like, that kind of makes sense.
You think maybe she's being punished? She said, hey, I don't want to be part of this angle. I want to be taken off. And they said, what are you talking about? This is going to be a great angle. She said, no, I don't want to do about it.
I don't think she's
go sit your ass on the bench then.
I think in front of Vince, she's being punished, but I think Triple H is protecting her. Like, he's like, thank God someone was mad enough to say no, because I'm tired of seeing my guys and girls get ruined. You know what I mean?
It has to be frustrating if you're Hunter, right? I'm sorry, Mr. Hunter. It has to be frustrating, right?
Mr. Levesque, actually.
Yeah. Imagine
I would think so. Like, dude, it's like when you have your set of toys, right? Mm-hmm. And then your cousins are coming over, and you're protective of your shit because you got it in a certain way, or you got you play it the way you play, but then they come over and they just wreck the whole, the whole order of things, so to speak, right? That's how I feel like he like, you know what I mean? It's like that older brother that comes and stomps on your toys, or like he's like Sid from Toy Story, pretty much. You know what I mean?
You ever had an engineer who like, okay, we made the song. And it's like, okay, it's almost there. I just need it to be mixed a certain way. And then you telling them how you kind of want it to go. And like, if you have to leave the song with them and then you come back and it's like, bro, what did you do to the song? Like,
you're like, can you go back? Nah, I'd already done too many saves.
I can't. Where did all these bells and auto-tune come from? None of this shit was on here.
So I had a vision at 3 a.m., right? It's like,
I made a few changes.
Remember we said something was missing? It was the cowbell, my dude. We needed cowbell. That's what it was like. I would think that Triple H is beyond aggravated at this point. Because, I mean, when you think about it, we talk about how WWE puts in time to invest in a character and everything they put behind it, and, in terms of the licensing and stuff like that, and not wanting it to be attached to certain things. I feel like Triple H is the same way. He puts a lot of time and effort, and not just him, obviously the team.
His whole life. He's dedicated his whole life, man.
I mean, he has a whole damn performance center of people. Like the best opportunity you can give someone looking to learn and be under a learning tree, and then they get all this knowledge, and then they go to the main roster and just get their legs cut out from under them. It's insane. Like, you know what I mean? Like everything that made them good, or even what made them seeable on Vince's radar. That's what. Oh, I like him, but we're gonna get rid of that.
He has a TV in his office in Connecticut that's directly over the rings in the performance center. So even if he's not there, he can keep an eye on it.
He's like watching it like he's watching it like Miz.
If he sees something that's wrong, or a guy's doing something that he's not supposed to be doing, he can make a call and say, "Hey, why is this guy doing it this way?" Blah blah. I'm sure he leans back in his chair and watches it.
He's like, "Who the fuck is this Lars Sullivan guy?" Oh yeah,
I love it.
But I'm saying Triple H has his TV in his office, but he cares about that much, where he wants to constantly keep an eye on it, and then he kind of has to hand it over to Vince whenever Vince says, "I want that." And it just gets destroyed. So it has to be frustrating that you put so much thought and effort and detail into this, and then Vinnie Mac just takes it and destroys
it. Triple H being more of an in-ring performer than Vince is. Obviously, Vince is a performer in his own right. But I feel like Triple H, because he has that in-ring instinct.
Well, first of all, I hate to cut you off, but Vince McMahon has had some of my favorite matches in wrestling.
But he's not a wrestler.
What does it take to be a wrestler then?
He's not trained.
Vince McMahon has had over 100 wrestling matches in his life.
He hasn't had 100.
He's had 100 wrestling matches in his life.
Freaking way! I can't.
100%. 100 wrestling matches in his life. I'll break it down to you, man.
I know he has some matches with Shane and God. The one with God, does that even count?
I'm sorry, Quincy. The man beat God, and you're gonna say that doesn't count as a W?
Well, I mean,
that's crazy, dog.
Does that mean that God is saying, like, I guess you're the Marty Jannetty in this situation, Sean?
So, but like again, Shane McMahon and Vince at WrestleMania 17 was one of my favorite matches of all time.
My point
That's not
is,
a wrestling match.
My point is, I think with Triple H being a little bit more of an an overall.
There you go. I'll take that.
More a well-rounded performer in terms of being an actual professional wrestler. I mean, the guy was trained by Killer Kowalski. I'm just saying. I think there's certain details he cares about and knows that they add certain things to these characters that Vince may not be so in tune with. Or maybe he sees it, but he doesn't get it, so he just takes it. You know what I mean? But you know what?
Because Kenny Mac is an entertainer; he's not a wrestler.
Well, so that's the thing. Is like he looks at it from an entertainer's scope, which is not bad. That's the E in WWE, but he doesn't look at it from like a modern entertainment scope. You know what I mean? Some of the stuff that he'll throw up is a little bit older in terms of like what is funny now. Fucking like the whole Bailey, Alexa, this is her life shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, dude, we done this before with Mick Foley and The Rock. It was shit then, but they made it into something good. That doesn't mean to do it again, especially not the way that they fucking try to do it. But, one thing that we did get on Monday also was we finally got the entirety of the men's, or the Raw men's Survivor Series team. What do you guys think?
Break down the roster for me, man.
It's AJ Styles, it's Braun Strowman, it's Sheamus, Keith Lee, and just added is Riddle, since we can't say his first name no more.
Riddle. It's just Riddle.
Mm-hmm. Just Riddle.
It's okay. It's not exciting.
I mean,
that's all it is.
I'm not against it. It was just like the triple threat was what? Elias, Jeff Hardy, and Matt Riddle again?
Yeah.
So, I mean, out of those three, I think I probably would have rather Matt Riddle, which is that's why it's smart to have those three in the match. But
I've been over Jeff Hardy for 4 years now, man.
Yeah. Well, I
love Jeff Hardy, but it's enough. Is enough.
You know what? Yeah, let's open that up because it's like he's been doing interviews where he's saying, "Oh, I love to be a world champion. I love to be both champions again." I'm like, I don't see it.
I would love to be a world champion, but that doesn't mean it's best for business.
Yeah, I mean,
better go buy a title on WWE shop.
I mean, they send, he got a better chance joining a winning NBA team and having WWE send him that title, right? I mean,
yeah, exactly.
I mean, and it's like I don't think that there's a market or a demo that at least not big enough that wants to see him with the title again.
Nah, bro.
I'm his demo. I'm a dirty-old man that grew up on TLC matches and the Hardy Boys, and I'm sick of seeing him on TV, man, because he just has the same type of matches. It's a little slow.
You're right.
Kind of leans on what he used to do.
There's some guys I'd like to see him wrestle, but as of right now, you're absolutely right. He's been wrestling the same match.
Who would you like to see him wrestle? Because it seems like he's been doing the same thing for honestly a couple years now.
It's one of those things where people like they like to compare the enigmatic features of certain guys. Like everybody wants to see him versus Finn. People want to see him versus the Fiend. People want to see him versus Aleister Black.
Not this guy.
Cool.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind seeing him in the Fiend, but like my only worry is like, okay, are we gonna get the return of Willow, which we don't really want or need?
Nah, because Jeff doesn't, from a character standpoint, that was never, as much as he is like the painted face and all that stuff. The thing that made Jeff was this fool's about to jump off everything.
Yeah, exactly.
You
know what I'm saying? So when you watch the Jeff Hardy match,
so we need him versus Shane then to settle.
Yeah, so if he's not doing that no more, that's kind of like. I'm cool. Like I don't want to. Oh, he's painted. Finn paints himself. That's so.
We could have him versus Dexter Loomis and our art versus art. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's the thing. There's so much. What we talk about now. There's so many. The roster is so deep. Why do we even waste our time on Jeff Hardy?
Yeah.
I know we have 10 hours of airtime every week. Why do we need to see Jeff Hardy every single week?
I understand the. It's almost like the Randy Orton thing. They are not comparable.
Whoa!
Wait.
Don't compare Randy Keith Orton to Jeff Hardy, man.
They're not comparable individually in their accolades, but they both have done a lot and have a lot of rich history with WWE. So comparable in the sense of we need to anchor the show with some strong household names. Mm-hmm. I mean, because look, I wasn't excited to see Jeff Hardy on the Raw roster or even being moved. I mean, like keep him on SmackDown, whatever. But when you look at the roster of like, okay, who can so-and-so defend against, you know what I mean? Then you see like, okay, there's the Randy Ortons and the Jeff Hardys and, these people and that people. So it's like, you understand that his name holds a little value, though they're a little bit convoluted and how much value they think it still holds to the WWE audience. I understand why they have him. They think, him beating someone or him facing someone new puts the other guy over, but it doesn't necessarily, like the whole thing with him and Sheamus was cringe, dude. Like, we know about his past drinking and his past drug problem. Like, why are we putting that on Front Street? We did this already with CM Punk. Like, bro, like
they're trying to make it. That's the thing. They're trying to make him interesting enough for you to be invested, right? But
like endearing to the fans, right? Like,
we don't care. Like
we all make mistakes. Yeah, we know, but you've been making a lot of them.
We don't care. Like, we don't want to see it. The last time
we
saw Jeff was when Jeff. Remember when I think Randy was like, he had like
he had a screwdriver in his
ear.
and
he was pulling his ear. Like that was the last time I was like, this.
Oh yeah, that was at that Hell in a Cell, right?
But even then, that was just more about the creativity in that match.
100%.
With the stuff that they were doing. I wasn't really
like we're not gonna remember Jeff for that. Like,
no, okay. So
here's
my thing, right? So you ever catch yourself in the other room while wrestling is on, and then you hear music, somebody's entrance music. There's certain people that if I'm in the other room and I hear their music hit, I stop what I'm doing and I go in there and check it out, go see what's happening, right? When I hear that Hardy Boys music, I'd be like, all right, cool. I still got time to do it.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I fast forward.
I got time to fast forward. Yeah. No, I feel you because like it's funny because their music is still iconic, you know what I mean? But then when you hear it, like I feel like the last big pop you heard for that music was at WrestleMania.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which in their defense was a huge.
Yeah, it was a great.
That was a moment.
Yeah.
That was a moment.
It was amazing. Yeah.
But I think
that was what 2 years ago now, 3 years ago,
2 or 3 now.
Yeah. But it's like I think WWE knew like then whether or not you're like they should have signed them full time. Like they should have signed them for the night. And they won the titles, but they could have done something different. It was a great moment.
You can sign them.
That run that they went on was cool because they
could have kept them long enough to do like they could have done their own invitational, kind of like what Terry did with the Hardy Boys and Christian and Edge back in the day. You know what I mean? Where they're like, we're gonna leave, but we want to make sure we leave the tag team scene in the best hands possible, whatever. Like, because when you look at what they did after, they did nothing. They had like Matt Hardy did the whole broken thing with Bray Wyatt, so that was kind of cool, but it didn't start off cool. You know what I mean?
Nah, it didn't. I wasn't really rolling with that.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, like I said, it was just kind of. My fear, like the whole Jeff Hardy thing, I'm like, now that he's on Raw, they're gonna run back him versus John Morrison. Watch, they're gonna.
Oh my god.
You know what I mean? Yeah, stuff that we haven't seen. And
I'd rather see John Morrison get the spots that Jeff Hardy's getting. John Morrison's an amazing athlete, and he's just acting as Mrs. Sidekick.
Yeah, he's the Miz's hype man right now.
Yeah. I kind of been thinking about that. Like they made a really big deal out of him getting signed, and he came. And obviously, when he got there, they put him with the Miz because that makes sense, right? But I didn't think it would go this long without him kind of being involved in something a little bigger.
Has he had a singles match?
He's had a few.
He had singles matches, but they've always been tied to
the Miz.
Whatever the Miz is doing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Which I love the Miz, but I think John Morrison can stand on his own.
No, I think that it was important. I wasn't against them putting them back together because I joked about it.
Yeah.
But that's because we needed tag teams at the time, and then they actually did it. I'm like, oh, okay. I thought it was going to be like you always loved DX, but when they came back as like as they call the DX dad version,
which is 100% true, right?
Yeah,
and so it was awful.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it wasn't awful. It was definitely. It was different. You know what I mean? They couldn't do like it was Friday After Next. It wasn't Friday. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's just one of those things where I was like, I hope they don't like try to force a rehash and try to do all this new stuff. But seeing where Miz has gone since those days and seeing what John Morrison has done and came back and made something of himself, I was like, oh, okay, this actually might be good. And it's honestly the pairing's been good. But shit, did you guys watch Raw where they got ran down by Randy Orton?
Yeah,
getting that dude.
Yeah, he was cooking.
He said, and you went home and went to go play for the minor leagues. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. He was
I'm telling you, Randy Keith Orton has some of the best promos in the business, man. I know
what he wants to, because sometimes it'll be like I'll listen. I'm the same thing as Mac. I'll be like making a sound or doing something where it's on, and then they come back and it's a backstage it's Sarah Schreiber trying to get a quick word with Randy.
And then I'm shocked that you know one of their names, man.
I had to because
that's crazy.
It's not Renee no more, so I can't just call her Renee Light. But
I don't know how the company's surviving without Renee Young, man.
It's I mean they've been really taking
just holding on.
That's why no one's watching Raw. Don't you understand?
Yeah, because Renee's gone.
But yeah, dude, I don't know. It's like I'll listen to I'll be in earshot of the promo, and then I'm like, I'll even pantomime. I'm like, victim of the most devastating. Oh, there it goes. Yep. Okay, he hit that mark, and that's all that. Okay, I didn't miss nothing,
Yeah.
But he had a great promo. I did like how Miz was like, dude, this ain't about the money of the bank. We're briefcase. We're trying to be tag champions. I was like, okay, cool little distraction there. But Her Business got an opportunity next week. What do you guys think? You think they're gonna walk in this Survivor Series or what? Well, as tag champs?
No, I don't think they're not gonna do it.
I would like to see it.
I would love to see it. I would love to see it.
I mean, I
also update. Her Business has new T-shirts out too, man. Without the flaky cord stuff on it. The problem is now they look off like the MVP one.
Like
it's like an MVP chain. It's like a picture of a chain.
Oh, okay.
Man,
they changed their music again, dude. I don't know why they did that.
They did?
It's like it sounds a lot like the one they've been using, but like it's like slower, or it's like I don't know. They always doing something, man.
All I want for Christmas is a good quality Her Business shirt. I can't have I can't have a Cedric Alexander shirt because that's just I like women. I like women, and I want to have sex with women one day. I can't have a.
Wait, does Cedric even have a shirt?
He has a shirt. Everybody in the Her Business got a T-shirt.
Oh wait, it's like the same T-shirt, but it's their name on it or something.
No, it's a little bit different. Like MVP has a chain that says MVP on it. Bobby Lashley's one says CEO of the Her. Everyone has different. But the problem is, I can't walk around with a Bobby Lashley T-shirt on. Number one.
Why?
Number two,
white women to throw themselves at you.
Yeah. Number two is I'm not going to walk around with a Cedric Alexander shirt. I'm just not going to do that. Absolutely.
Why not?
I don't understand.
That's why I draw the line, man. I'll have a Dominic Mysterio shirt. I'm not going to have a Cedric Alexander.
I
have a Dominic. Oh, I got Dominic's shirt on day one, man. I love Dominic. I'm the biggest Dominic fan.
But Cedric is married, so he was getting something at some point.
I know crackheads that are married. Doesn't mean that they get. I'm not saying he doesn't get women. I just I don't know. What has Cedric? Okay, let's put it this way. What has Cedric done for young Baka to be walking around with a T-shirt on of his? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
What if there was different Young Baka Productions T-shirts walking around, and then someone was like, "Oh, I like that Young Baka shirt, but I don't want to get Baka's."
Oh no, I like the Young Baka one, but I don't want the Lego one. You know what I'm saying? That I can respect.
Hey, the Cedric shirt is kind of hard.
You look at but it says his big name on the back. I don't want that.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
I just want a Her Business
what does it say on the
back?
back?
That's all I want.
Well, what does it say on the back of Cedric's?
It says Her Business on the back, and then it has the little triangle logo on the front, and it says the Age of Alexander underneath.
Oh, it says the Age of Masonry. Is that got the triangle in that?
MVP shirt looks like the shirts that they used to sell in like the swap meet back in the day with the
chain, right?
With the chain on it. Yeah, or you can get one with like Casper the Friendly Ghost, but he has like.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah. Oh, you're right, because they had like the Sesame Street joints. So you're like, hey, look, I'm Elmo. Oh, look, I'm
Elmo with a do-rag on.
You're like, what Halloween costume? Oh, I just threw this on. How do you even realize I was Buzz Lightyear today?
Hell of an era to live through.
Oh man.
So I just want a good quality one, man. That's all. I can't see myself wearing a Cedric Alexander shirt, man. And
Well, what if the Cedric Alexander one was the only non-flaky one left, man?
Then I'll just have to pass.
I guess I
would just have to wear a Pro Club Black T-shirt for the 5th anniversary.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man. I guess I'm gonna get you an Apollo Crews shirt too. How about that?
Yeah, good luck with that, bud.
Hey, I don't know if you had a chance to see last week's episode, Mag, but we did talk about Vince Russo, of all people, having an opinion on the Her Business, talking about like they've been booking him in all these black on black like type of scenarios, and I couldn't help but laugh when we, it's Bobby and MVP cutting a promo and it's Titus O'Neil, coming out. I was like, God damn it.
And then they jumped his guy.
I don't need more ammo for this guy to think he's right. He doesn't know what he's talking about. But oh man, Titus had a pretty good promo though. I mean, longer than his match, but I mean, you love to see him. I
always forget about Titus, bro. And then he comes and he does the same thing. Like he'll be gone for like 2 months, and then he'll come back into what, like, whatever, like the second.
Yeah, they'll inject him into what's going on.
and then he'll get beat up by that, and then he'll disappear again.
Because before he was just
I'll take that. That's a great life, right?
Yeah,
you
yeah.
Make a couple of charity appearances. You get jumped every 2 months. Yeah. Sign me up. I mean,
and not to mention his best friend is Batista, so you know what I mean. He's you know, he's raising a family. He's chilling.
But when you think about it, Batista said that he told him to leave 10 years ago to leave WWE. He said, well, I was going to say, they don't give you any respect.
Well, that was because I was about to bring that up. That he was telling him to leave based off that shit that happened with him and Steph and Vince when they went off the air, and everybody made a big deal about it. Yeah, where he was like, hey, your daughter coming through, but he's like, hey, don't fucking hold me in front of the like.
No, but you can't do that on television while the cameras won't.
But that's the thing.
It wasn't on backstage. Doesn't mean
it wasn't on TV. People caught it.
You're telling me Titus? You're telling me Titus knows what the clock is. He knows. Okay, we've been off TV for 20 seconds now. Now I go into Fitzman tell me mode. Absolutely not, man.
No, you know what it looked like? Remember that episode of The Office when Stanley was like, "Did I stutter?" And then and then Michael fake fired him.
Yeah.
And then at the end, he was like, "I don't respect you," and he was like, "Well, you can't talk to me like that. I'm the boss."
So, yeah. It was just. I mean, I remember. So that whole thing was weird, and I feel like Vince was like saving face because I feel like people were in his ear like, "Oh, it looks like this," and people are saying this, and I don't know. But I remember, back then, which if that was 10 years ago, goddamn, that was a while. But
no, that's not 10 years ago. That's maybe what, 5?
But Batista back then was telling them, "Yo, fuck this." Like, you know, they're not.
Batista's done
because didn't they fine him like 25 G's or something like that?
Yep, something like that.
It was something ridiculous.
Yeah, they suspended him.
Listen, Titus O'Neil should be happy as a job, man.
I was gonna say like he started as a tag team and he's the only one left of the tag team and. You know, they got rid of.
The only great thing he did was the Royal Rumble entrance. That's it.
Man, what are you talking about? He was bringing people worldwide.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
See, worldwide is
a household name now.
He wanted to be what Hurt Business is now. That's what he wanted worldwide to be. He wanted to be what Hurt Business is now.
But ain't no lie,
my boy MVP came in and did a better job.
Doing that before, like he was the one that was dressing up.
Not up to this caliber though.
Nah. Of course not. I mean, strength in numbers, and it was just he was a one of one. So
factions work better when they're heels.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
like
100%.
Well, because you can elevate more people.
Yeah. If Titus Worldwide was just stomping out people for no damn reason, then it probably would have worked out a little bit.
If they actually went worldwide, yeah. Because I remember, like, I was like, poor Dana, she's just holding a stat sheet and not doing nothing.
Bruh.
But look at her now, platinum blonde.
Exactly. You want to talk about somebody else that's lucky to have a job? Dana Brooke is lucky that she has a job because she has no personality. She could wrestle, but she has no personality. You need to have personality in wrestling, man.
I don't know. Like, this is the thing. Like, it's hard to figure who does and who doesn't.
I know, and I know she doesn't have a personality.
Well, because
it's not hard for me to figure out who has.
I say that because of the fact that you can only do on, promo-wise what they tell you to do.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Because to this day, like, Natalya is like, even though she does this best of all time thing, I'm like, you're still whack. And the reason why you're whack,
Natalya sucks too.
But it's because, like, I think I know her personality based on her promo and the fact that they made her fart for like forever on SmackDown. So I can't, like, I never take her seriously, like, even though I should. But it's like, it's all about how they make you perceive someone. I feel like that's where it gets dangerous. You know what I mean? Somebody could have personality, but you would never know because
there's moments, right? There's
moments. You know what I mean?
One of my favorite segments that they do when you're looking for stuff like that is when they put somebody on the commentary desk for a match. And they put Dana and Mandy on the commentary desk for the Survivor Series match, I think it was, the qualifier match. It was when Nia was beating the shit out of Lana again. But
what is it, the 6th time or the 7th time? It's one of them.
When they're sitting at the desk, you have an opportunity there to just talk, and you kind of freestyling with the commentators. Some people take advantage of that, and they almost make you like them more. Like, I remember when they first took the crowds out, they had Sasha and Bayley sitting in commentary every week because they just know how to just go back and forth with the commentators.
Yeah, they were fucking with Michael Cole. They
put the New Day on commentary all the time.
Another person that
New Day's good at stuff. Like Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens good at that stuff.
Kevin Owens good at it too.
See, I was gonna say Asuka did that too, but like you couldn't even understand what she was saying. But she had.
You know she has personality.
Yeah, she had personality behind it. Like it was
Dana wasn't taking advantage.
Yeah.
You can see Dana like trying to think of something like.
Yeah.
Like. Man. She just kept missing it. It was like that double dutch. She never
jumped in.
Say something besides you being strong and blonde.
She just kept going.
Yeah. It's like, it can't. We're not on camera right now, honey.
Yeah.
We don't need to. We don't need to pose. We need a promo from you. Yeah. I don't know. Like Dana. Yeah. I think she could definitely. She's another one of those people like Ricochet who can, because Ricochet ain't got no personality either. Right. You know what I mean?
And I want him to. So
exactly. And I want to love Ricochet. Because he's a great wrestler. He's wonderful, but he just he doesn't have it in him, man.
Like I've seen Ricochet cut a promo, but not this. He can't do a WWE style promo.
Nah.
And Dana always, whatever they write for her, it's always like, it's always, I've been working my butt off, and this is finally my time, and except with her
whole promo is basically
with the Ohio
I'm tired
accent.
Of sucking.
It's my turn, don't you know? And
I don't want to suck no more.
And I'm gonna win, and we're gonna have celebratory tacos. Like it's just, she always got the Ohio accent on strong, which is fine, but they don't really give her none of it.
It's not fine. It's not fine, man. It's not fine to work for WWE and not be able to cut a promo. Like Ricochet, man. No. Like, do we ever see a day where Ricochet is heavyweight champion?
No, he wasn't gonna be champion. The only way he'd be champion is if he was NXT champion. But
I'm not saying in the next 2 years, but it has to be. Ricochet is amazing. You think there's absolutely no way?
I mean, granted, the closest he got is like, hey, we need a guy to get squashed by Brock. Oh wait, there's Ricochet. Yeah, like
I'd get squashed by Brock, man. The problem is I'll go into business for myself.
Hey, let me know how much. Let me know how much the winner's purse is, and I will gladly take an F5. I mean, the only thing I'm scared of is that German. Because man, he be looking like he just dumping fools on their.
He doesn't look like he protects people. Right, like the Survivor Series match last year, him and Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan has all these concussion issues.
I was scared, bro.
Tossing him up.
I was just scared. Like I remember when Bryan got cleared to come back, and he was talking about names he wanted to face, and he dropped Brock Lesnar. I'm like, boy, you want to go to an early grave? Like, what are you talking about? Like, you just came back from your neck and head injuries. Like, come on, bro. And then seeing that match, I was like, oh, God. Like, the whole time I'm on the edge of my seat, but not because I want Daniel to win. I just want the match to be over.
Yeah, I don't want to see nobody holding up.
Hey, that was honestly one of my favorite matches, man. That was a great match.
No, it was a good match. Like, I mean, it's what do you think it was? You think it was better than AJ and Brock?
AJ and Brock was really good too, man.
I think
Brock gets a lot of heat, but Brock has some great matches, man.
I was gonna say what made the Daniel Bryan match good is because he just won that title with the low blow. Yeah. So then he hit Brock with a low blow.
And then Brock sells on his face that maybe he's gonna have to tap, and then Paul Heyman behind him selling as well. Brock Lesnar's a great seller, man. Great seller. Dude,
you'd be surprised that he actually puts together a lot of. I mean, when you look at the format of the matches, it kind of looks that way, but he does a lot of his. He calls it a lot in the ring. Which I was kind of surprised about, but then again,
what's gonna happen? I'm gonna hit you with F5.
Yeah, I was gonna say how hard is it? Like he's on the floor, he's like German.
Yeah, another
one. Like
you're like DJ Khaled, another one.
Another one. Hey, I'm thinking about doing the Kimura again tonight. I haven't done that one in a while. Like
I miss Brock. I'm a huge Brock Lesnar fan. I love Brock Lesnar. I would love to see him in UFC again too.
You saw that they abandoned the trademark for his name?
Oh, I didn't see that. That happened recently.
Yeah, like I think last week.
Wow, that's a little crazy.
Yeah, they're like third party, Brock. No more of this UFC on PS4 business. Like,
a Brock Lesnar AEW confirmed.
Confirmed. I know you love that. I know you love it.
Oh my God.
There was something else on SmackDown. I mean, we had Drew and Roman,
which was great too. Which was awesome.
Yeah, I was gonna say, who'd y'all rather see? Champion versus champion, Randy versus Roman? Or McIntyre and Roman, because obviously they got the World Championship match on Monday, this coming Monday. So,
there's no way that Randy's gonna lose it, right?
I don't think so. I mean, I was thinking the same thing about New Day.
Not on regular TV.
Because like the New Day have been all their promos have been pointed or focused at Street Profits and vice versa. Mm-hmm. So I don't see them losing their Hurt Business like a week before.
Absolutely not, man. Absolutely not. I've watched wrestling enough to know who's going to win these things.
Hey, at least we've been getting what we wanted, and that's been nobody on the Survivor Series seems to have been wearing shirts. I did see Dolph Ziggler with the hat. I can deal with the hat, whatever.
No. All of a sudden we're a team.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, at least make it like what? Like, maybe like a John Cena, like, armband or something. Like, you know, we ain't gotta, like, maybe like one of the Nexus joints, we'll just put the Raw R on it, or like the SmackDown S. Like, we don't.
It does look like they've abandoned that, right? Because like we only have one more week of taping to go. Yeah.
I mean, yes, we say that now until they come out at Survivor Series. We're like, God damn it.
They got jerseys on.
But they're actually playing.
They're gonna be some shooting shirts and shit. Like
they're actually playing opposite of it. Like the team isn't getting along, right? That's what we're doing with the AJ Styles, Keith Lee, Braun Strowman thing, which is more realistic.
More sense.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I've been digging what they've been doing on Raw though.
Mm-hmm.
Who else is who's part of the SmackDown squad? Aren't they waiting on one more person?
You have to look it up. I think it's
Baron Corbin, Seth Rollins,
Jey Uso.
Is it Otis is in there too?
No, Uso's Jay's in there.
Look.
Who got the last spot?
Let me look.
Yeah, because I remember, it's a Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is on there.
Kevin Owens, right?
So Kevin Owens, Jey Uso, Seth Rollins, right? King Corbin.
Yeah.
And then is there anybody else? I can't remember who. That's only 4 I named, but I could be off. Knowing me, I named someone already, just don't remember. I can't keep track of all these names, Baca.
Yep.
You gotta tell WWE to give up some of these names.
All these Usos, right?
You got Kevin Owens, Jey Uso, King Corbin, Seth Rollins. This article says TBD.
Yeah, so it's still one more spot.
So it's Goldberg. Confirmed.
That'd be great.
Oh shit!
I'll be down for it. I'll be down.
What if it's Taker?
Yeah, his last one, huh? Last ride.
Hey, it's his farewell. It's Survivor Series, and he's a SmackDown guy. Yeah. I mean, mostly.
Oh, 100% he's a SmackDown.
I mean, who else is going to take on? I mean, they ain't got no one on their squad that can take on both Keith Lee and Braun Strowman.
That's what I was thinking.
Listen, if Taker gets announced as the 5th spot and he pins Strowman and KeithLee, you and Brian are going to come up here on the next podcast and just lose your mind.
No, I wouldn't. No, you know why? I'd be like, yo, Keith Lee wrestled the Undertaker. This is crazy.
Fuck? You know, you guys are never happy, dude. I would love to see that. I would love to see that.
Hey, I shaved the neck beard this week, so it's
there you go.
You gotta get that energy off of you. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you don't want that energy.
I wouldn't lie. I would love to see the Fiend and Taker again, but I don't.
No, because then it would just ruin the Fiend. It would just ruin the Fiend's. I'm sorry. You're saying just one-on-one match.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I mean, because
last
year,
year,
he wish he had more in the casting for it. Him against the Fiend.
I mean, obviously him and Bray was a little bit different. What, at WrestleMania 30, I think it was 31.
One of those.
Yeah, it was 31 in it was in California. But yeah, I mean, I think it. I mean, they had that whole the new Face of Fear thing going on back then.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't mind if they revisited that. Even if it's like a theatrical match, like they did both their matches at WrestleMania this year.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, you guys hear that they've been thinking about pushing WrestleMania back a few weeks?
What's going to change in a few weeks?
I think the allowance of more people. I think that's what it really is.
So as opposed to having it April 22nd, they're going to have it what?
Well, I think it was going to be earlier than that. It was going to be like early August or early April, but they moved it to like, I think, what date is that? I got to double check.
Like the first week of May.
Listen, I think the way things
it's like I think it's the week before May.
Your boy Biden's going to come in and lock everything up, man. So I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon.
What do you mean? He's a huge fan.
Yeah. Well, if we had Yang,
guys,
Yang was talking about he's going to help the wrestlers unionize.
He's like, guys, I'll tell you what. How about we run that match back and we shave Trump's head again, and I'll let you do whatever you want. Yeah, I think they said like the 25th, or let me see, the last Sunday of April would be the 25th, and then there's before then it's the 18th. So
how many Vince McMahon, you're fired Trump memes have you guys seen the last week? I mean,
how much I've been tagged in by people who just all watch wrestling but think it's like brand new.
Yeah, it's amazing. She's
many.
Yeah.
Man.
For Vinnie Mac, man, he's getting that push. He's getting that after effect,
I know. He's like, will you stop sharing this? I got to pay him every time I use it. I can't use Fire Me. Oh, man. I got to ask you this, Baca. 100%. I know you got to get out of here, 10 minutes?
10 minutes, folks, yeah.
How'd you feel about the women's match? at Full Gear. I know you love the women's matches. You know, they had.
It was cool. It wasn't anything special.
It was garbage. It was garbage.
Hats off to AEW,
bro.
man.
How do you book Nyla Rose to look that weak, bro? That was fucking stupid.
Because Tony Khan doesn't respect women. That's why.
Maybe you got to point.
You heard it here first, man. Listen, honestly,
PK, where your balls at, B? Where your balls? Like
say,
it just didn't make sense. Like,
yeah.
I'm not against Hikaru Shida, but bro, the way that they booked Nyla in that match, she looked weak. She was running away at some point. She was getting manhandled. No pun. She was just getting like.
It wasn't a pun until you said no pun.
We all
understood it.
Oh, see, I thought because I know how
when you say no pun, it makes it a pun.
I know how Baca feels about a young Nyla Rose, so I had to make sure there wasn't no funny business.
Listen, honestly, I just want to say it was super courageous and just super glass shattering that AEW had 2 women's matches. It's just super brave for them, man, to really respect women and give them that much airtime, man. Congratulations, Tony Khan. You know, listen, Tony Khan.
You might have something on your hands here featuring more than once, huh? It's crazy.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Crazy concept, yeah.
Holy shit.
So it's crazy, man. And listen, WWE, I know it took a long time, and I know I know Stephanie McMahon invented women's
progress, you know.
I know Stephanie McMahon invented women's wrestling, but just the women's wrestling that WWE has had for the last 5 years has just been unbelievable, man. Even the Bayley and Sasha Banks thing that's going on now.
You think 5 years? It's been about 5 years.
I think it's been about 5 years, right? 2015. When did okay? You tell me. When did Becky and Charlotte?
No. I'm not disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing.
No, I don't know because you know you're more of a historian of the sport.
No. The reason I asked is I was trying to figure out who was like, and it's a weird way to kind of tell is who was on the NXT roster in 2015, women's wise, because then I know who was coming up to the main roster.
You tell me. When did Becky and them come up?
When did Paige beat AJ Lee?
They didn't start that. I'll tell you that right now. They didn't start that. I know Paige likes to tell you guys that, but that's not when it started.
No, but it was that same era, same time frame.
I mean,
Paige. Listen, the fact that Paige still has a job blows my mind because she's talking about. She's like, well, I've learned so much about unions today. I'm so informed about unions. I put my neck for this company. That's how they're going to treat me. The fact that she still has a job blows my mind. It's crazy.
Shout out to Paige.
But they just simply don't want her to go to AEW, right? That's all it is. They just going to keep Paige so she doesn't go to AEW because she's not going to be able to wrestle.
But she can't even wrestle. So I mean, what would she even do?
Because she has balls and she's going to go to AEW and just shit all over WWE and the product, right? That's all I'm
trying to say.
She has a great mouth on her.
There's nothing for her to do because we saw what happens when they have her manage somebody.
I say stuff just to make Matt laugh.
I know you're right. So like, yeah, the women's revolution was like 2015, 2016. So yeah,
look at that.
And you know what I did? I just looked up Becky Lynch's Wikipedia, and it was boom right there.
Yeah, shout out to Becky Lynch and I don't know how to pronounce it. Mandalorian. Shout out to Becky Lynch and the Mandalorian, man.
She's not a Mandalorian. That's
not Becky Lynch. I'm saying Sasha Banks.
Sasha Banks.
I apologize.
Boss time.
Good word. That's huge, man. Seriously, that's one of the most popular shows. You know, in the last 5 years, again, it's good for her.
And let me just say, people have been trying to shit on Sasha's appearance in the show. Shut up,
bro. There's like 2 seconds in the trailer. There hasn't been anything to shit on.
A hater, bro.
No, well, it's out now. It's
the release where you can actually watch the actual episode. I mean,
that episode is I watched it last night. It was dope.
I mean, I was gonna say like she don't look like she's like a huge character, but for whatever storyline she's playing, it didn't seem like.
So people are like, oh, they hyped it up, and she just did this, and this. And like, bro, just shut up, bro.
But you see, that's the thing. If you would have done something bigger on the show, then there would have been more complaints, don't you think?
Yes.
Like, if they're like, well,
you don't give somebody in that first
into this.
Yeah, 100%. Her first acting gig, she's not gonna have 10 lines. Yeah. We know that, right?
She's not gonna be a Jedi in her first movie.
Bro, I mean, like, I know she got blue hair, but
people can't enjoy shit, man. People can't enjoy shit. People can't let other people enjoy stuff. It's okay to let people enjoy stuff, man. It might not be for me.
And how many times we gotta say this? Like people will complain about one thing, but when it's the other, then they're gonna. It's crazy. I don't know. Like,
don't complain either way.
But you know what?
But listen, if it was Cody Rhodes just standing back there with a robe over his head, they would have gone crazy.
I don't know why.
WWE's out of business. Cody Rhodes for president.
Bro,
oh my God. The fact that he's able to do this. Oh my gosh.
I was going to bring up when he was on Green Arrow, but I haven't actually seen his work on Green Arrow. But I'm like, is that not the same thing? Like, I don't know. It's funny because back in the day, like I remember watching that '70s show, and Ken Shamrock and I think The Rock were on there.
Yeah, it was.
You know what I mean? Because it was like some '70s rush, and I was like, oh, this is cool. This is dope. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Vader on Boy Meets World. We've seen it before. Like, you know what I mean? It's not nothing new. Hulk Hogan had his own fucking series with Thunder in Paradise. Like,
I used to watch that shit all
the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so.
Hey, don't let the Hawks still know. He doesn't want people like you watching, my guy.
Hey, but you know what? It's Star Wars.
Oh, that's dope, man. That's awesome. Where'd you get that from?
Hey, this is Black Wrestling.
Black Wrestling.
Yeah, that's why I want you to shout him out, man. That's cool. I just started following him on Instagram because I saw you guys were following. That's amazing, man.
That's great. I mean, it's funny because I know that shirt will probably start some. That's almost as bad as a Trump flag to some people. Like, but you know, how do you feel about Sasha now going after the third Bella twin? Oh, I'm sorry, Carmella.
Carmella.
Yeah, I think it's unrealistic the fact that we think Carmella could beat Sasha Banks.
All I'm saying is she comes back looking like Brie Bella. She uses the Bella Buster. No. I'm saying, but you know, Brie. Well, Brie Bella had the full red joint.
Wow, she did. She literally just pulled that out the closet.
Yeah, you know what I mean. She had, Nikki always showed a little bit more skin, so we got her looking like Brie Bella. She does the Bella Buster, and then she calls herself untouchable, which is like you can look, but you can't touch.
She's untouchable unless she wants somebody to touch her. You got to add that factor. Though.
You can look, but you can't touch.
Yeah. Wow. So I don't know. I think it's a waste. We have so much great women wrestlers in WWE right now. Why do we give Carmella this big push?
Well, I'm not against it being her, but I think I'm just tired of giving every women's wrestler the X Factor as a move. It's like, come on, like we've been doing this since the Divas division. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's like the default on the creative.
Dude, that and the Bronco Buster, right? Like that's back in Braun Penny's days. Like, come on, bro.
Bronco Buster.
No, but does anybody think that Carmella is a worthy opponent to go against Sasha Banks?
Carmella is just
right now, no, but
until we get to the Bianca Belair.
I understand that, but we have a lot of great female wrestlers.
Honestly, Bianca Belair versus Carmella would be pretty good as a program.
I don't think so.
She threw her ass over the top of the shit.
Yeah.
Well, oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, she whooped her ass last time.
She beat her ass so bad the cameraman wasn't even there at the beginning.
Yeah,
he ran up later like,
they like cut to it and then she's like, oh, take the trash out. Bam! Like, oh, damn. Somebody might want to check on her. Y'all put a crash pad out? Oh, y'all didn't? Oh, okay. That was real then. That was 100% real. But yeah, I don't know. Other than that, man, I'm trying to think what else happened on SmackDown.
Paul Heyman got his little dig on Raw and on Vinnie Mac.
He said
Roman Reigns says I don't watch Raw. Nobody does because they're watching me and SmackDown. Paul Heyman in the back quietly says you ain't missing much. Had to feel good for him, right? Getting fired.
I mean, technically he's like the guy like he was like the creative director of Raw. And then ever since he's like, well, all the viewers left with me.
Shout out to Paul Heyman's the best, man. He doesn't get enough credit for.
Hey, did you see that footage, by the way, when he was on Raw Talk with, or I think it was Smack, maybe he was talking Smack with Sami Zayn, and he said he has Sami, have I ever lied to you? Have I ever lied to you? He's like, yeah, you have. I'm not lying to you now.
Hey, so Paul Heyman is the new host of Talking Smack, right? New co-host?
I don't know if he was the host. He just happened to be on there.
I think they said something about the new co-host. I'll check it out.
Oh, possibly.
Which I think that'd be great. If Paul Heyman is the new co-host with Talking Head number 5, I'm watching it 100%.
Oh, Caleb Braxton?
It's honestly, that's the most impressive thing that you do on this podcast. The fact that you know these people's names, that ask a generic question, it's amazing, man.
hey, these are people. They're employees of the WWE too. You know what I mean? So. One thing I gotta ask you before you leave, Baca, and I think this we upset a lot of people if we didn't bring this up because I know you love AEW so much. What the fuck? So Shaq's coming to AEW, or what are we doing here?
Throw it.
I think that's. I didn't hear what you're talking about. When did that get announced? Shaq. He's coming to AEW.
Did you watch AEW this week?
No, I didn't watch AEW this week.
So there was a promo.
I should have admitted on my wrestling podcast, but I didn't watch any wrestling this week.
Hey, I don't always watch it. Sometimes I catch up when you guys bring stuff up too. But Cody came out because he lost to Darby. Yeah. So they were.
Shout out to Darby. That was a good match, right?
Yeah, it was.
It was a great match. I enjoyed it.
I hated that he can't ever just have a moment without getting his ass kicked, but yeah. But So he had a promo where he was supposed to talk about his future, what's next for him. All he got to say really was like, yeah, I talked to Arn Anderson, and at this time we think it's not a good idea to entertain that rematch clause just, at this point in time.
Well, that's stupid.
And then, but what makes it interesting, he says that there's someone else who took he took a big loss from, and he has unfinished business with, and he says MJF's name. So I'm like, okay, maybe this is where we're gonna go to get him, maybe a match between them to lift this, this stipulation that they were talking about from last year, where you couldn't, challenge for the
you can't go out for the championship.
Yeah, but then before he has a chance to really get into it, some girl, which her name is, found out her name is Jade Cargill. I still don't know where she's from or what she does.
Big fan.
But dude, she just walks out, and she just starts like trying to do this promo on Cody, and it's like people, as they called it, it was a beautiful disaster. It really was not that good.
So what does Shaq get involved in this?
So she starts talking about, like, she walks into the ring, and he's like, "Can I help you?" Because he's like, "Who the hell is this chick?" She's like, or maybe
kind of like when Lil Ma jumped on stage with Jay-Z and Alicia Keys, right?
Oh, it was a lot like Lil Ma, baby. Yeah, it really was. Except she didn't get the tap. No, she didn't get the tap. Cody was just like, "Okay, what's going on here?" And she started talking, trying to be all sultry and seductive with him, like pulling on his tie and like, "I've been watching you," and trying to figure out when I can see you and get your attention. And then she starts trying to, like, it just doesn't make sense, like, where she's getting, what she's getting into. And then she starts kind of like stroking his ego, going down his list of nicknames, the Prince of Pro Wrestling, the American Nightmare. And then she said, I actually even heard one time that you called yourself the Giant Killer. I'm like, I don't know what she's talking about. I don't remember it. But she brings up him calling himself a Giant Killer. Then she just switches on a dime. It was like, "Oh, yeah, you need to watch what you say about giants. There's something giant about you," which, of course, like, pops the crowd. Always got to get a beautiful woman to talk about a guy's, nether regions and whatever, right? But then she starts saying, like, "Next time you have something giant related to say, keep that shit to yourself," is what she actually says to him. And then she, like, just leaves. And then she, like, congratulates him, like, "Oh, I forgot to congratulate you on your name." And just like sarcastically clapping, and was like, even though you don't have the balls to go by only one name. And I'm like, that was a total dumb letdown. Even though, he's been Cody since he's left WWE, so he's obviously had the balls for over a year now, or whatever. But then she says, talking about how she has a real giant, and the giant's name is Shaq.
It was great. So this really is just WCW
it was a real lackluster reveal. But then I got to tell you, you got to watch this. You got to watch this segment, Baca, because it's where it picks up. Because Brandy Rhodes comes out and cuts the promo of her life. She really does.
Well, that's not saying much, right?
Well, I mean, Cornette actually said something about it, so that's a lot to say.
There you go.
You know how he feels about her.
It sounded like she had just watched the movie Baps and was like,
"Hey, no lie, like, she got real ghetto on her. You know what I mean? But the funniest,
she was doing
yes,
oh man,
yes. What they say? She was reading her girl, read her.
Yes.
But the thing that was funny, the little Easter egg that I didn't think anybody got, was it looked like they were about to get into it. Her, Brandy, and this girl Jade, and then the one person who gets in front of them and separates them is fucking Jerry Lynn. So then the crowd's chanting, "Jerry, Jerry." I was like, all right, that was a genius. That was a genius move.
Funny.
That was a genius move. But
so this just is just WCW 2020. That's all this is, man. That's all this is.
It ended where Cody's still in the ring looking like bewildered, and then he gets attacked by Team Taz, whatever. But it was just like so many questions. I'm like, is Team Taz in on this? Like, did they send this girl out to take advantage of him? Is this a totally independent thing, and they just saw an opportunity to kick his ass? I mean, is Shaq part of Team Taz? I don't.
How pissed are you gonna be when Shaq becomes the AEW champion?
Who's gonna beat him? Upset. Lance Archer.
Honestly, who's gonna beat Shaq? But you know what it is? That's the TNT connection, right? Shaq's on TNT. They got AEW on TNT.
I'm like, they're exhausting everyone they can get. You know, they had the Tyson thing that went nowhere. Then they got Shaq. But I was like, why are y'all doing? Is this just because
Just bring Dennis Rodman and Karl Malone and call it a night, man. Get Jay Leno up in there too.
Somebody got to put Kenny Smith in the figure 4.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Hey, I'll pop for Kenny. If Kenny came out, I'll pop for Kenny. I'll be dope. Yo, if they get Trollers to come out, if Charles Barkley comes out, that's when you gotta be tuning in every week.
That'd be terrible.
It's doing bad, man.
Terrible.
It's really doing bad. Some stuff is amazing, and I really enjoy it, and then some stuff is just.
But they need to get a Shannon Sharp to manage somebody. The do-rag and the black him out. You know what I mean? Have him manage the private party or something. I don't know.
Oh my God.
So it's struggling, man. And you know who I blame? I blame Tony Khan, and I blame the fact that Cody doesn't just say, "Hey, that's going to be a stupid idea." But maybe Cody's on it too because he knows it gets some mainstream attention. Well, if he wrestles
and that's where I'm at. It's like I totally understand the crossover appeal.
Yeah,
this guy's on TV every week talking about the climate of sports.
One of the biggest names.
He's a lovable guy. He's already a lovable
100%.
guy. He's 100% endearing to the fans. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know if they're going to have Papa John's.
He's also a great rapper as well. He's also a great rapper. You can't stop the rain 2000.
So you'll love this. You'll love this because when I was recording the episode with Doc yesterday, I was like, I guess the FT Dub in Team FT Dub stands for Twism. And, we got the legend of Shaq Fu coming to AEW. Man, like I was like, this is the legend of the.
It's doing bad.
So, the F is for Fu Schnicken. There you go.
And for somebody that really is just dedicated to life to AEW, go to every pay-per-view, it just has to break your heart to see this stuff happening.
Bro, it should have been Westside Gunn. He's the one who's
that'd be dope.
Westside Gunn probably got me beat on Events Gone.
And who's the other guy? Smoke
Dizzle.
Smoke Dizzle. He's at every event too, right?
I haven't seen him. Like that's what's weird.
He's always on IG.
You hear Smoke talk wrestling talk in his bars, but he wasn't really like proud of it until years ago.
So you calling him out?
I am.
Quincy Jones is calling him out on his fake fandom.
You said he a casual?
I didn't say fake. I just say.
What do you call it?
I say that he was.
You said he's always talking about wrestling bars, but he's never really.
It was that false fandom, bro. Just like all of a sudden when Toronto Raptors win the championship, you see Drake in the WWE title.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, when LeBron gets on the Lakers, you see him with these super tight Undertaker t-shirts.
Yeah.
Nah, man. LeBron was at
with his flip phone, huh?
Yeah, his flip phone. He was on Monday Night Raw, man.
He didn't know what it was.
No, he's always been a big. Somebody considers themselves good friends with LeBron. He's always been that.
No, honestly, when you think about it, a kid that age being able to he got sat front row at SmackDown.
Amazing. Yeah. 18 years old, right? 18 years old. Stone Cold comes out. What year is this? It has to be like 2002, 2001.
It had to be something like that. Before 2003, because that's when he retired.
Yeah.
Still, yeah. But then now we got Shaq. So is the move going to be called the Shaq Attack or the Hack Shack? He's going to come out. He's going to do a cosplay of Steel. He's going to be John Henry again.
Oh my God!
What we doing?
Just WCW 2020, baby.
And then if like he gets attacked, is he going to arrest somebody because they're in Florida and he's technically a cop in Florida? So
shoot somebody.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Stand his ground. I mean, I don't know.
He go shoot somebody on TV.
I'm just saying, there's a lot of different. There's a lot of different.
That'd be a good angle. He shoots a guy and he gets away with it, right?
Yeah.
That'd be dope.
I mean, do they even have handcuffs to fit Shaq's wrist? I don't think so.
Nope.
I'm sorry, Quincy. I just want to apologize, man, because I know how much you love AEW, just to see it constantly, week by week, during the WCW. It just has to break your heart, man. And somebody that's gone to heartbroken millions of times.
I will say that watching AEW, I was watching it because I wanted to see what the fallout was going to be for Full Gear. There's a lot of stuff that happened. Mm-hmm. And then when that segment, because when I saw, I was like, oh, Cody's going to be commenting. Okay, we'll see what's next. So then, when I'm listening and I'm like, oh, he's talking to MJF. This might be it. What the fuck who is this chick? What is she talking about? Why is she on TV? Man, this is going long. Oh, there goes Brandy. Oh, okay, good for Brandy. Oh, it's Team Taz. What the fuck? No one wants to see them on TV.
Shout out to Brandy. Dude, for using the word heifer on TV.
And she did a good job. I mean, she's originally from Detroit, but this is the first time she's ever sounded like it.
She's like heifer.
So the woman that walked down, was she a sister? Was she a white woman?
She was a sister.
Black.
Okay, cool. I was gonna say, you can't have no white woman talking to a black woman's husband like that. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy because I'm not end all be all. I usually follow a lot of people, so I know where some people are coming from. I've never seen this woman. I never even heard of her name.
She's an IG model, as far as I know.
Yeah.
She's an IG model?
Oh, good for her, man.
No, honestly, she could be. Like, she could be on OnlyFans. We wouldn't know. I don't know where they plucked her from. I mean, I just know her promo skills left a lot to be desired because she was over-rehearsed and super nervous.
Yeah.
So I don't know if she skipped around. I think she probably it sounded like she, like, forgot some stuff because, again, like, her entire, like, promo towards Cody was, like, none of it really connected. Like, she had, like, a lot of different things that none of them were, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Because she started off saying, Cody, you need to stop lying to the people, and I think you could help me, and, you know, I've been watching you. I'm like, okay, those are 3 different statements. Like, you know what I mean? I gotta figure out what order this goes in. And
she dropped her flashcards right before she came out. Oh, shit.
Oh, like, yeah, she had the cue cards, and then she dropped them.
They all shuffled up.
It's the wrong answer to the wrong question. Oh, you saw the climate question for the money problems. Like, I don't know. Like, it just, it was just kind of weird. But I mean, you know how I feel about celebrities and the crossover. I feel like this. I feel like I don't know what they're doing. You know, him and Shaq and Big Show were supposed to do some stuff at WrestleMania a couple years ago. That didn't happen because he can't keep his mouth shut. So that didn't happen. But that's why
Shaq couldn't keep his mouth shut. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because he spoiled it before they had a chance to even finalize plans. And my thing is, if this is your attempt to hold something over WWE's like a notch or like an accolade, like look what we were able to do, and you guys, like, that's dumb. It's, because the thing that makes it weird for me
is a 45-year-old retired basketball player.
Yeah, exactly, right. And then that's the thing is, like, first of all, he's 7 foot, 300 pounds.
Yeah, he's a beast. He's more than 300 pounds.
Cody's supposed to carry him the whole match.
Yeah. No, to building up for the Hulk Hogan Andre Slam.
I know, right? That'd be actually
going to happen. That's what's going to happen. We all know it.
Kind of cool. I ain't gonna lie.
That would be dope, right? But the problem is that Shaq isn't going to know how to boost himself up on Cody's shoulders for him to do it. You know what I'm saying?
That's what because like the fact that they went to all this trouble to get this female to be like representative of him, like his mouthpiece, so to speak.
Whoa.
Like, so is that what they're really going to have him come in and train and do all this shit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, we already know he has bad, knees and
yeah, he's a 45-year-old, 450-pound man. It's just a miserable life.
Is he 450 pounds?
He's not 300 pounds. I'm 300 pounds.
You're not 300 pounds, bro.
I'm 300 pounds. I weigh myself every day.
I don't believe.
How heavy is Shaq?
Yeah, I'm about to see that.
Damn, he's 324 pounds. That means I'm only 24 pounds lighter than Shaq.
I don't believe
some beast, dog.
That might be what? Like, that might be the way he was as an athlete.
Yeah, playing weight.
I don't think he's.
I
don't think he's 324 either, right?
Nah, because he used to be.
Alexa, what is Shaquille O'Neal's current weight?
Yeah.
Like I need an actual up-to-date stats on Shaq.
Let's do this. How tall is Cody Rhodes?
He's like 6 foot, right?
Cody Rhodes is 6 feet 1 inch tall.
I thought like 6'1", something like that.
I'm super proud of you, Siri, that you knew who that was.
It's like, well, now that we can use his last name, we know what Cody you're talking about.
Yeah. You can't say how tall is Cody, right?
You're like, Cody who?
So Shaq's going to be a foot and 4 inches taller than Shaq.
I feel like
Shaq's going to be a foot.
I feel like Shaq didn't even know that they were going to say his name on TV. Somebody had to show him the clip, and he was like, what?
I feel like Tony Khan was in the back, and he saw what was going on, and he's like, fuck. Just say Shaq. Yeah. Just say it. We gotta save this shit. We need all. It's all eyes on.
I always say poor Tony Khan, but actually poor Tony Khan's dad, who has to write these checks every week. There you go, son. There you go. Go, because Cody's just playing wrestling. You know how we had the figurines as a kid? He has actual human beings that he's playing wrestling with. He's like, I want Dad. I want Shaq to come. All right, Tony. Here you go, man. All right, there you go, son.
Dad, owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars and a huge name in Florida. Could you get the other big name in Florida to my show? Oh, Dad, I want Drake to play on my birthday.
Yeah.
It's.
I'm sure there's somewhere Tony Khan's Sweet 16 party on MDV somewhere, right? 100%. Dad, I said I want the 4-door Porsche, not the 2-door Porsche. Dad.
I wanted Pitbull and 2 Live Crew. What? No, like it's
Listen, if Tony Khan listens to 2 Live Crew, I'll give him a little bit of respect. Give him a little respect. Yeah. Shout out to the middle of Florida, man. Uncle Luke.
I just don't see, like, this is what's weird. I don't know if you guys watch BTE, but they do it every Monday.
I haven't watched BTE like in 2 years, man.
Well,
they lost me.
They had one this past Monday, right? And they were obviously they had a little bit of filming before Full Gear. They did during Full Gear, so they showed footage of Shaq being backstage, but it was nothing. It was just, oh, what's going on? You know what I mean? And that was it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, how do we, like, in 3 days, how do we get from that to, okay, we signed Shaq up for a match down the line with Cody? It's like, what the hell, bro? Like, because, you know, they probably asked Shaq, he's like, oh, yeah.
Because Shaq's a fun guy. He thinks it's going to be fun. Like, going to get his pop. It's going to be cool.
Like him in the Royal Rumble that one year?
Yeah, it was dope.
That was fun.
Dope. He's a fun guy. That's what he does. He's a fun guy.
I think that was in Orlando, right? When they did it?
Yeah.
That's why
Vince
it was
going to call Shaq and be like, don't do it.
Yeah.
You're a WWE guy.
No,
Phil Jackson's
going to say,
can I come down and manage?
No.
Watch. He's gonna go for his move, and he's gonna whistle at him like, Shaq, triangle offense, and we're not even gonna know what's happening. It's just boom, it's done.
He said, Phil, no one does triangle no more. God damn it, triangle offense.
He's gonna join a private party, and he's like, we are the triangle offense.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Phil Jackson. Man. I appreciate you. Man. I know you got a bad one as the next president, man, but I still love you, Phil, and I appreciate everything you did for us, man.
But yeah, I think that's all I got this week, man.
Another great episode, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say we talked about Zelina, talked about Shaq, of course, talked Full Gear. What was your we'll end it on this. What was your favorite match on Full Gear?
Sorry, you talking to me?
Yeah.
Kenny Omega, baby. Shout out to Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega and Hangman Page, baby.
I feel like that match had a look like they could have added a little more storytelling, but I did enjoy it.
But what I think is happening is they're saving a little bit for when they actually have a full-blown feud. This was just two guys in a tournament. We wrestled each other. Now they start to save a little bit in casting for when they have a feud against each other.
That's true, because what people were claiming that when the Young Bucks won the tag championships and Kenny Omega came out to celebrate, that supposedly you could see Hangman like in one of the tunnels just hanging back. But I was like,
he was at the top of the stage, yeah.
That's what I thought, but I was like looking, and I'm like, I don't see this guy. And then what was weird is you see Tony Schiavone like, oh, someone's lurking up in the shadows, and they just like cut him off, and then they just go into like a whole, like they don't even pay attention to what he said. They just go.
Yeah, the production on AEW's
it's
struggling, but you know, don't get to it soon.
Dude, I still remember the first show. The audio was so bad. Like the house mic was bad. Like, oh, it was bad. But, you know, growing pains, such is life.
That's what it is. Man. But now they got, you know, instead of worrying about the production and the sound, the lighting, and the commentary, we're just going to focus all of our energy on Shaq. So, you know.
I don't know. We got these building problems, this mountain of women's division complaints. Or we got Shaq.
But we need Shaq.
I kind of want to do Shaq. I can see Tony kind of like, ooh, but it's Shaq. I got these women signed here, but it's Shaq. I can
all the girls in the hallway just mad, like, Shaq, really?
Shaq.
And then Tony Khan is from Florida, or was he from?
He's from Chicago.
Okay. So
or Illinois. He's from Illinois, but yeah. Which is crazy. But I think my favorite match, I did like Kenny Omega and Hangman. I did enjoy the Tag Team Championship match with the Bucks and FTR just because I'm a fan of both teams. I wasn't a fan of the finish, though, but I knew the Young Bucks had to win because that didn't make any sense for them to do the same thing twice in 1 year. But I did enjoy Moxley and Eddie. I just didn't want Eddie to lose. That was my own thing.
Yeah, I respect it.
I still had fun watching it. What about you, Mackie? How'd you enjoy Full Gear?
What if I told you I didn't watch Full Gear? But
I wouldn't blame you.
I would say this. Instead of Full Gear or AEW, I will pivot to one thing I would like to mention before we get out.
Yeah.
Shout out to Leon Ruff.
Oh, yes. Yes, you're right. Absolutely. New North American champion.
Nobody thought he was going to do it, but he did it.
You hear about this, Baca? Were you there?
Yeah, man. I'm all about black wrestlers getting a push, man.
I knew you. As soon as I saw that, I was like, Baca's going to be happy.
All about black wrestlers getting a push, baby. That's awesome.
Part of the whole the fan base of Leon Ruff here.
Yeah.
How long do you think they're going to let this go?
1 week.
Yeah, I'm scared.
Yeah, I think it's a 1 week.
Because the fact that they did the whole thing where the belt didn't even fit them.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh man. Oh man, I'm like they going all out with this, and
Damian Priest gave him the keys to the whip. Like, get out of here.
Yeah, and if you didn't catch the small joke, he said it's a challenger, so he said get the fuck out of Dodge.
Yeah,
that's funny. Good one. That's good.
So, yeah, I mean, NXT wasn't too bad this week either. But yeah, Leon Ruff definitely
shout out to
talking queen. I mean, I think he came from Evolve, so him and Johnny know each other.
Mm.
And I can't remember her name. I'm gonna get shit for.
Yeah, good job.
I'm gonna get shit for this from Baca for a different reason though. She is the referee of African descent.
Aja.
There you go.
Aja, right? Aja Smith. Yeah, thank you. I know them two are going out. Her and
known as Aja Pereira. She's the wrestler too.
That should be collusion. That shouldn't be allowed. Referees and wrestlers shouldn't be going out.
Well, she didn't ref that match.
That's still collusion.
She did hold Johnny Gargano back when he was trying to get at him, though.
She said, "Don't you think you finna put hands on my man's?"
And I appreciate you guys, man. This was great, man.
No,
Thanks for everything,
definitely
fellas.
great.
I appreciate it, man.
Hey, you hear that? You hear that? Nothing. I don't hear Brian complaining at all. We love you.
It seemed like a lot. It did seem like a much more positive show, didn't it?
There wasn't a whole lot of yelling this time.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, thank you, Mac, and of course, thank you, Young Baca. Feel free to follow the Flow Show everywhere on social media, man. That's the Flow Wrestling Show on Instagram, as well as the Flow Wrestling Pod on Twitter. And don't forget to check us out. We're on YouTube every week, and of course, we're on the Young Baca Productions Podcast Network. You got to give me a cookie.
Amen.
I finally said it right. I got it right that time. But definitely join us next week. I would think we're probably going to get into some predictions for Survivor Series. Something tells me Bach is going to be pro Orton, but I digress. But again, thank you guys for joining us for the Flow Show. This has been For the Love of Wrestling. Peace.
Later.